a tough, grinded out league, and defenses are better, like I said, players are better, scouting reports are better, coaches, it's all magnified and it's doubly tough.
Kendra, you being an in-state player and playing in this game for several years now, what's this game mean to you? Give some of this.
I guess against Ole Miss is always, I take it, as an important game. For one, because of the rival. It's just tradition, what I'm saying. I take it seriously. Like we're going there, first, and then they'll come here. So really want to get, a win on the road. The last one we lost, on the road. So, kind of like I'm looking at it as redemption too. And, also, just learning from, the other losses that we had and how we haven't, been playing, that well on offense, especially, last game. And luckily we came out with a win. So hopefully we can just learn, today in practice and just take it there.
For either one of you guys, players, I'm not sure, probably not. Either one of you guys will have an opportunity to guard Fowleroo, but from what you've remembered from last year, from what you've seen, from what coaches told you, what makes her so difficult to guard?
She's always moving. I think on the offensive end, she rebounds it really hard. So I know the 4 players whoever guards her will have to really focus on boxing her out, because I know she gets a lot of points off of just offensive rebounds too.
Kendra, how do you think the team has responded after the 2-game losing streak? I know Vic said a couple weeks ago that the loss is going to come eventually.
We came out with the win, but I think we've taken it, to heart, and we're not trying to have that feeling, not right now. And whether it comes or not, we'll be ready for it, but it's just how we respond for it.
Kendra, even though the post players are struggling to score, you've seen these teammates score before, so y'all still have confidence in them offensively.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Chinwe, she's a beast. She's probably one of the strongest, I've seen, throughout, the SEC. And Martha, she's coming back. Like Coach said, she played a lot of minutes the other night. He's trying to get the rust off of her. And I think that once she gets back into the, the swing of things, she'll be okay. And our 4 players, they're, like Dom said, they'll have their hands full with Tia, when we play them. So, I still have the utmost confidence in this.
Again, for both of you guys as players, Ole Miss has a different backcourt makeup that compared to LSU. LSU probably has a little bit more strength, sturdiness in their backcourt, especially taking the ball to the rim. From what you guys have seen in the preparation for Ole Miss, how does Ole Miss's how do their guards present you guys with a similar or a different kind of challenge guarding?
Like LSU, I think they attack the rim just as hard. So we're going to have to really focus on keeping them in front of us and not sending them to the foul line like we did Alabama. So that'll be a really big focus and practice these next couple of days, and just guarding the guards, because they are quick. They might be quicker than LSU, but they're not as strong. So, we kind of just have to keep up with them.
Same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much what Dom said, and then how Coach is always talking and making them score over us and not by us. So, as long as we get a contested, shot, as long as they take a contested shot, we have a better chance of them missing and us getting the rebound. So, I think that's probably a lot about what we'll work on today in practice too.
We'll take it back to maybe the first year under Coach Schaefer, just going through everything and change and everything. Just what the process has been like, and has it progressed as you envisioned it, and what Coach made the message was given to you?
Definitely. And in the beginning stages, I would, hear him talk about, where the program would be. And honestly, it came quick, a lot quicker than I thought it would. And just being able to witness it, where it came from, and, what we've done so far and what we're capable of doing, I'm just, glad to be a part of it.
Any other questions for the players? All right, ladies, go hit the weight room.
They may not know any more than me.
Melissa, any other questions?
Coach, I'll just get you to expound on what, I asked Kendra about the process, and she said it happened quicker for her than she thought. Did you think it would happen as quickly, being top 20 and record and all that stuff?
Well, I'm not sure anybody thought it other than me and our staff, because we've been a part of it before. But just because you've done it once or you've been a part of it a couple times before doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And I think I told y'all the other night, you know, we've probably far exceeded most people's expectations at this particular time throughout the process, except mine. And that's what you know, you have to try to keep that in perspective. And again, I want it so badly for those 3 kids that we inherited. I know they had some lean times as young players, and they've had to be the ones that had to adjust and adapt to change. And sometimes that can be hard. And I give, you know, those 3 a lot of credit. And so it's really been fun for me, and my staff, you know, to see these kids where they were, where they've come from, and then for these kids that we brought in and recruited, you know, that's why we were hired. I mean, if we aren't doing it, shame on us, you know. And so, again, that's part of what I'm saying. I said today at the luncheon, you know, you look at your minutes played, who's getting all your 20 minutes or more a game? 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen are your top 6, you know. And Martha is your next. That's your senior. That's the 6th one. And she didn't even play against LSU. And she's played sparingly at times throughout the course of the season. So just, you know, sometimes you know, I know for myself I have to step back and gather myself and realize the youth of our team and the inexperience also. But those kids are winners. At the end of the day, they're ultra competitive and they're winners. And that's why we're where we are today.
In looking at Ole Miss, have you watched them beginning of the season?
Oh, yeah.
And compared to now?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
I was gonna ask a question based on that, because I wasn't sure if you had gone that far back.
Oh, yeah.
He switched his offense to
Yeah.
go more motion,
Yeah.
to try to create more dribble job opportunities and to limit the amount of things that the young kids had to be thinking about.
Right.
How do you describe the difference between them early in the season and now?
Well, it's night and day, you know, and I think they have a real understanding of what they're trying to do, and it's kind of that, probably that little bit of that philosophy, keeping it simple, you know, and letting those kids do what they're good at. And again, they've done a great job. I mean, you talk about the rivalry all you want, talk about this and that, and I get it. Hey, I'm at Mississippi State, we're not supposed to like those folks, and I understand that completely, but you have to have an appreciation for the job that they're doing and what those kids, you know, how hard those kids play. And so they're completely different than a month ago, you know, and so, you know, they're young also on the perimeter, and but yet those kids are doing a good job. And so it's kind of like what I've said all along, you know, with our young kids, sometimes what you don't know doesn't hurt you, and I'm sure he probably feels the same way sometimes with his youth. So you know, we're going to have our hands full, no doubt about it. They've already beaten one top 20 team, you know, beat number 18, I think, Georgia at the time, 17. So and I expect a good crowd. You know, we'll have a bus going over, we'll have another 100 people going, but they're going to have a good crowd of Ole Miss people. From what I understand, it doesn't matter if you're playing jacks or, you know, spades or basketball. It's always pretty good interest in the outcome.
I remember you saying that the 15 to 25 is pretty fluid in women's college basketball. What's it take to get to that next step? It seems like you're there in that fluid range. What do you need to do to get to the next league,
Win.
next level?
Win. I mean, you just have to consistently win. You think about it, we lose to LSU in double overtime, and you think about how we lost. There's 3 things that happen late that if any one of the 3 change, you win the game. Well, if you win that game, they turn around and go to Kentucky and win. We're probably still in that 14 range, you know. So those are the games you got to win. That's why, I mean, Thursday night, Friday, I was miserable. Probably one of the most miserable days I've had in a long time in coaching, because you just feel responsible. I mean, that's my job. Up 4, down 4, 4 minutes to go. I got to get those kids home. And so, you know, those are the games you got to win. Because LSU now, with Ballard back, they're completely different. I mean, they're going to win a bunch of games. They're going to be a top 25 team. And so you feel like you let one get away. But that's what you do. You got to win. I mean, you got to win the games you're supposed to win, and you know, be highly competitive in those games that maybe you're on the road playing a top 5, top 10 team. But, you know, hey, there's a reason why you play the game. They don't just assign wins and losses. And every now and then you gotta sneak up and win one of those that you're not maybe supposed to win. So, that's the difference. And, you know, we're close. We're right there, you know, right there right now. I think we dropped to 18. Somebody said yesterday in the AP. I don't know what today's coaches says, but, you know, it doesn't matter right now. We need to worry about ourselves and winning basketball games. I know it's a rivalry game Thursday, but even more important than that for me and us right now is it's an SEC road game that we need to go in there and play well and win.
Are there specifics in the sense that if we just did this a little better, if we did that a little better, that, you know, you'd pull out the LSU game or some of the games that you lost? Are there specifics, shooting better, playing better defense, or?
Well, I think in the Vanderbilt game, we did not play well, but we've not played well in a lot of games and won them all. We just had some things in that ball game that it just wasn't going to be our night. That's all I can say about it. Now, LSU thing, the three things that happened. Number one, if you make the layup, it's over. If you make both free throws, it's over. If you defend the three-point line, it's over. In 30 years in coaching, I think I told y'all, I've never had a three-point lead, had to defend a three-point shot, and gave up the three-point shot. That's the first time it's ever happened. And so, you know, those three things right there, or maybe you just dribble it out. Don't go make the layup, just dribble it out. You know, take more time off. So, you know, lots of things that if, you know, woulda, coulda, but the bottom line is that you better learn from it, because you're going to be in that spot again in this league. You're going to have that opportunity again, and we need to learn from it. And but those were just three things late in the game. You can go back throughout the whole course of the ball game and find certain things that happen. So it's a heck of a basketball game against a great basketball team. You just hate losing. I hate losing at home, y'all, and I hate losing in front of our fans. We've got some tremendous fans right now, a great following, and I don't want to lose any of them. I want to keep winning. I want people to keep coming back, and so.
How do you adjust the big picture nature of the schedule in the sense that first 8 you play one ranked team, second 8 you play 4, I think 3 on the road, if I'm not mistaken. And you're 4-2 right now.
Yep.
Especially with this week, you have 2, like you said upstairs. 6-2 is a lot better than whatever it could be going into the second half with that kind of a road ahead of you.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, the Monsters, I mean, number one, the whole schedule's tough. It doesn't matter who it is, but, you know, certainly you can tell, you look at what the preseason rankings were, you know, who the media picked and all that, and, you know, we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 in front of us. You know, you got 6 coming back here. We've already played 7, and so it's, you know, that part is very daunting, you know. But again, it's why we're here. It's why we chose to come to school at Mississippi State. It's why I chose to come coach at Mississippi State. We want to live in this fish pool. You know, we want to be in this fish pond. And it's not for the weak or faint at heart. And but it's what you signed up for, and you get excited about it. And so we're excited about the opportunities that are in front of us.
Turn around and play a Monday game after a Thursday game, an extra day of practice. I don't know how you got into that. Just talk about it.
Well, probably depend on what it takes, you know, on Thursday night, depending on what we'll do on Friday. But it is a little bit unique and different. And then you got to turn around and play Thursday after the Monday game, and so there'll be some different things that we'll have to do to take care of some things. But it's part of it. You're getting to be on national TV on the SEC network, both ball games Thursday and Sunday, and Thursday and Monday. And so we'll have to be, you know, we'll have to adjust and be ready to go.